Back to our top story tonight. The White House condemning credible reports that Russian soldiers are holding staff of the Chernobyl nuclear waste storage hostage facility hostage. Press Secretary Jen Psaki called the situation unlawful and dangerous because it halts necessary maintenance at the scene of the world's worst nuclear disaster in 1986. Radioactivity still leaks from that facility.
Meanwhile, the attack continues tonight as Russia tries to overtake the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv. Fox's Caroline Shively joins us live tonight from Washington, D.C. as this crisis continues to unfold. Carolyn, at this hour, the sun is about to come up in Ukraine. What are the expectations in terms of Russian troop movements?
They've been moving throughout the night, Russ and Courtney. In fact, our Fox News crew on the ground in Kyiv has heard several explosions at this hour. It's about 5:30 local time. They had donned their protective equipment because the explosions were so loud. The fears are Kyiv could be taken in the next few days. We are only 24 hours into this Russian assault. They are hitting cities on the eastern half of Ukraine as well as to the south around the Black Sea, the port city of Odessa. So it is very dire in Ukraine at this hour.
Yeah, as you point out, Caroline, it's all over the country. How long does the Biden administration think the Ukrainian army might be able to keep up the fight, given it's so outnumbered by the Russians?
That's a great question. They are still not supplying boots on the ground, certainly under any circumstances, according to President Biden today. 7,000 U.S. troops going to Germany to shore up the eastern flank there of those NATO troops, but not going into the country as well. President Biden putting a timeline on there, saying it could be a month or so before Russia feels the full effects of sanctions. But as of this hour, sanctions are all that the U.S. is providing.
Of course, our primary concern is about the Ukrainians, but how concerned are U.S. diplomats and military leaders that Putin might press into NATO states that the U.S. is pledged to defend?
That's what the Ukrainian foreign minister was telling the United Nations Security Council, saying, look, if a member of the Security Council can do this, we're all going to feel the effects. If not Russia, Russia might push into some more parts of Europe, but also other despots. They may push into other countries if they see the world not protecting one of their own.
Yeah, one last question tonight, Caroline. Is there any conversation in Washington about ramping up our domestic energy production? Americans are already feeling so much pain at the pump, but is there anything we can do to undercut some of Putin's leverage in the oil and gas market?
There are a few things. That's a great question. There has been talk of releasing some of those strategic U.S. oil reserves. We did that in tandem with some of the Arab nations back in November. You did see a little bit of a dip. It was temporary, a dip in some of the gas prices. Of course, Nord Stream 2, the natural gas pipeline, has been put on hold. But there are a number of things that the U.S. can do, but most of them would be temporary.
All right. Caroline Shively live in Washington, D.C. Thanks so much for the latest perspective from there. We are continuing to follow the latest out of Ukraine, and we will bring you updates right here on Fox 5. You can also find new updates on Live Now and fox5atlanta.com.